Hello beautiful soul, it's Julia here from quantumhealingjourney.ie, and today I want to tell you about a beautiful soul realignment story that ties in very nicely with the 3 waves of volunteers information that Dolores Cannon has shared in her book. I'll include a link to my previous video about the 3 waves of volunteers in case you haven't watched it yet, because you need to see it in order to understand the full story. So very recently I did a reading, Akashic Records reading and clearing for one of my clients who turned out to be an angelic being, first time incarnated here on earth. And of course he struggled his entire life with feeling emotions very intensely and truly struggling throughout his life with, practicalities of life, and also socially he wasn't doing so well because he is an empath. Of course, he feels emotions and he feels vibration much more intensely than others. So his entire life, bless his soul, he thought there was something very wrong with him. He was carrying so much guilt and shame and lack of self-worth, lack of confidence, because of course he chose to incarnate into a family that had very heavy emotions. There was so much baggage, so much heaviness from the past, and old karmic issues that were escalating after each generation. So he believed throughout his life that there was something very wrong with him, and that he was paying for something bad, terrible that he must have done in past lives. And he really struggled. There was quite a list of physical diagnoses that he acquired throughout his life. There was a lot of disharmony in his physical, mental and emotional body. So I expected, massive past life stories of what could have gone wrong in the past, but I was pleasantly surprised, and I was amazed actually how the information made sense once I got all the information about his soul's journey and the plan, and it was just incredible. So I can't share this with you, because I'm sure there are many of you who feel that way, that you are paying for something you have done, but actually in his case, and surely in many other cases too, he, as an angelic being, of course, as the call went to the entire universe that Earth is in trouble and we need volunteers to incarnate, to uplift the frequency of the planet and awaken the collective consciousness. So that call went to the entire galaxy and the universe, and of course angelic realms too. So angels also said, we want to help too, we want to go in and incarnate. So he, with his beautiful, loving, exciting, joyful, playful energy and very eager energy, he signed up and he said, I want to go in and I can do it. And with his beautiful, compassionate heart, he chose a family that needed a lot of upliftment, and he believed he can do it, because on that side he knew that he will have legions of angels and guides and helpers supporting him throughout his journey. And also he was aware how many souls are coming in with the same eagerness to help. So he chose a really, really heavy family. And just because he is an angelic being, it doesn't mean that he will remember, or he will know, or he will have any advantages. And no, he too had to have a veil put on him and forget who he was, and he had to go through life unconscious of the divine plan until he came to a point when he was ready and this information was revealed to him, and it was incredible for him. So there was nothing wrong with him. He's a beautiful angelic being, seraphim to be exact, and he chose this family out of compassion. He believed he can do it, and he was regulating a lot of the heavy, dense energy of heavy emotions for the entire family. So there was a lot of issues on a physical level, and he was going through a lot of pain emotionally, mentally, and physically, but not because he was paying for something bad he has done, like karma. No, out of compassion, he was sort of clearing and transmuting a lot of the family trauma through his beingness. But also what was a huge factor in a lot of this harmony in his body was that from a very young age, it was a huge shock, as you can imagine, to his system to feel and experience the density of this reality and the emotions. The family was quite cold, so at the age of 1 already, there was a tear done on his energy body, on his heart chakra, because his needs were not met appropriately. There was not enough love received, and as angelic being, you're coming from realm where there are no limits to love. Love is given and shared unconditionally. Everyone is perfect, there is no judgment, and he was experiencing quite a contrast to this. So it was a shock to the system, and of course, as you imagine, a beautiful young child lovingly bouncing around with his happy angelic energy, and when he was all constantly told to be quiet, not to express his feelings, not to express his thoughts, more blocks were added onto his field, and he became completely, he got out of alignment with who he was at his core. And so much so that he actually chose to believe that there is something wrong with him, that he's just not perfect, that he can't do this or that, and he isolated himself and he struggled. And of course he was suffering with a lot of rage and anger flares whenever something triggered the old traumatic emotions that he felt as a child whenever he was knocked down by people that he loved. So this soul realignment was revealed so much to him and resonated deeply with him. He actually recalled many stories from throughout his childhood where situations occurred, obviously showing him that he's an angelic being, whether it was people continuously telling him, or there were signs that he looked at, or he even created a small company many years ago that had a name, angelic name in it, and just a few little instances like that where he kind of had the feeling that he could be an angel, but he found it hard to believe, because how could he be an angel if he is angry, if he feels rage, if he feels hate and all these really heavy emotions? He thought, as an angel, shouldn't he always be perfectly balanced and in harmony with all that is? So no, of course not, quite the opposite. If you think about it with the conscious mind, if you imagine coming from a beautiful realm so close to God, so close to perfection, to source of love and light, going so far away from that into this dense, heavy reality of emotions and contrast and duality and limited love, you are in shock, and of course you feel everything way more intensely than someone who has incarnated on earth many lifetimes, you know. So it's natural. And the big message that kept coming throughout this reading over and over again for him was, don't be too hard on yourself. It's natural to feel emotions so intensely because you're coming from a place of love and light. So this is a huge contrast, and if you are a first timer, it's a huge shock to your system. So don't be too hard on yourself. He also felt throughout his life a lot of pressure, like all eyes, like everyone is watching him, what he will do next. And of course that is kind of coming from his core, knowing that there are legions of angels, that there is so much consciousness up there supporting him and watching his steps, and lowing him, and being eager and hopeful to see how he will do as an angel incarnated in human body. So he felt all that, and that pressure that he then translated into physicality he, it's all self-imposed. The message from his angels throughout in this reading was that all pressure that he feels is self-imposed. There is no pressure from them to him, to how much he will do or how much he can accomplish. They know how difficult it is to be so far away from love and light. They know about the earthly struggle and all that. So all there is for him on that side is love and support, and admiration for his courage to go and do it and go through such a hard life. And he put quite a lot on his plate when he chose that kind of family. So kudos to all you volunteers who believe that you can do it and you can survive really heavy density families, and being bullied and abused and all that. You must have believed that you can do it, and of course you can do it, and much of the support is there for you. It's important that you open yourself up to your higher selves, to your friends and family on the other side who are wholeheartedly supporting you and waiting for you to open yourself up to the communication and support that they are ready to offer all the time. And there is a lot they do for you without your knowing. But so imagine as you open up to it and you start actually seeing the signs all around you, you will be amazed. And I see confirmation of this daily when people who are really working on themselves, who are healing their past, who are really aligning with their true selves. That is, your true self is unlimited, wise, loving, powerful, light. The excitement and joy is natural to your soul. So it would be great if I would invite you to consider that perhaps what you chose to believe about yourself throughout your life, based on the circumstances that you had when you were growing up, perhaps what you chose to believe based on that might not necessarily be truly who you are. I invite you to consider that who you are is someone who can do whatever you put your mind and heart into, who has all the support and love, who is perfect already. There is really nothing wrong with you, and you were looking forward to this extraordinary times here on earth, and many are now coming together to support each other, and there's so much amazing things happening on earth every day. Media is so misleading, so deceiving to the current reality. If you just think about this, that since 1945 there are extra 2.5+ billion souls on earth. When I was little, I remember Earth's population was 5 billion. Now it's 7.5 billion, almost heading very rapidly to 8 billion souls. And I do believe that these are highly evolved souls coming from all over the universe, coming to incarnate and help raise the collective consciousness and raise the frequency on the planet and heal the past traumas. And for us to align and connect with our galactic aspects, with our higher selves, stepping into our heart and living from the heart. And as we do that, life is so magical. The synchronicities that are occurring like daily and constantly throughout the day are incredible. Like, life is so magical, and it's not happening just to me, it's happening to, I would like to say, everyone, because it really is. Times are changing rapidly. So embrace your heart, try to do your best, be less judgmental of others, because then you're not so judgmental to yourself. Try to judge less, include rather than exclude, and just offer support to everyone around you, and love yourself. That is at the basis of everything. Do all you can, spend all your focus on finding ways to embrace who you are, and going through all your beliefs and finding out which of the beliefs that you have are false, which of them are limiting you and putting you down. They don't feel so good anymore. So just turn them around, look at them, turn them around and change them to beliefs that are empowering, that are helping you move forward in a much happier way. Only you can do it. No one can do it for you. Don't be a belief thief. I love this metaphor. There are so many beliefs and thoughts that we are used to having that aren't really ours. We took them as ours because we heard them so many times over and over by our family members, parents, siblings, teachers, friends. There's so much that you're thinking that is programmed into you because you heard it so many times, but it's not yours to have. So start getting rid of all that is not yours, all that is no longer truth, all that which doesn't feel good, and start deliberately choosing thoughts that are feeling better, and you'll do just fine. There's so much help. Once you step on this journey of self-discovery and healing the past and becoming lighter with the planet Earth, there's so much help coming your way, and I cannot wait to connect with so many of you. And if you would like to find answers about and information about your soul's history and your life purpose, go onto my website at quantumhealingjourney.ie, click on the Soul Realignment section and have a read through the information, and if it resonates with you, I will be so happy to connect with you. I feel my purpose here is to help starseeds and volunteers to realize and see their mission and see their purpose, find answers, see the bigger picture of their life, to understand why things have happened the way they happened, and focus on now and going forward feeling empowered to make new life choices, to make new decisions that are aligned with your divine soul blueprint and your divine soul plan, which always feels so good. So before I say goodbye, just this morning synchronicity was that I read a comment on my YouTube video about the 3 waves of volunteers, where a lady is revealing that she received information about angelic beings being incarnated on Earth, and she believes many of them came as a first wave volunteers, sort of preparing the energy for the second wavers, who are antennas and beacons of energy, raising the frequency. And now the third wave volunteers, which are the new children, are going to be full-on action takers, truly changing everything that is not working, everything that is not aligned with love and light, in terms of governments, health systems, everything that is not working and not aligned with unity consciousness is going to crumble and be changed for something that is aligned. So we have so much to look forward to. Don't give in to fear. Whenever you feel any of the lower vibrational emotions, just think of them. This is what hugely helping me. Think of them with appreciation as messengers who are letting you know that whatever you thought in that particular moment when you started feeling that low vibrational emotion, that whatever you're thinking right now or believing right now is out of alignment with who you truly are, and that's why it doesn't feel good. So as you see that thought or emotion as an illusion, it's as something who you are not, then you can quickly see it as an observer and choose a thought and emotion that feels better. And as you choose the thought that feels better, it'll automatically happen. You know what I mean? So any of the low vibrational stuff is just a messenger letting you know that whatever you're thinking is not aligned with your soul aspect. So then you step into your heart and say, what would love think? What would love do? What would love think about all this that's happening to me right now? And see if you can find a better feeling thought. Okay, I think that was all that I wanted to share with you. There's more coming. So many amazing things were happening. So I will hopefully make another video very soon. Let me know what you think. Much love to you all. Great faith in all of the volunteers, and I'm so grateful for meeting so many of you and interacting with so many of you. Okay, take care. Best of luck.